Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Press Play Lifestyle Inspired podcast, where we do interviews with inspiring and inspirational people like our new friend Jeremy here for our listeners to find the resources, tools, and support they need to be their best inspired selves. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going today?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. I'm great. I live in Wisconsin and we have sun. So you can't be unhappy about that.
That's true. Yeah, I'm in Texas and it's we usually have sun, but today is kind of gross, but it happens. You
Yeah,
can't
I
win them
guess
all.
once in a while. Yeah. I used to live
Yeah.
in well, I lived in Tennessee for a while, but I also lived in Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona, and we were happy. Like, I don't think we ever didn't have sun.
Oh
It
yeah, that's like desert.
it was
Yeah.
just dead and hot
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's they're known for that for sure. It completely opposite of Wisconsin.
yeah, exactly. My dad actually used to live in Harlingen, Texas, which is
Okay, yeah.
like near the end of the earth. Like it's very close to the Mexican border, and it's a just I don't honestly think you can get any farther down than that, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it's there's a couple border towns like that, like McAllen and stuff is the same way.
Yeah, it's
But
awesome.
the big
So
state.
I'm glad you made it on, and thanks again for taking the time out of your busy musical day to visit with us. You have a lot going on, or at least it seems to be, or your marketing people are amazing, one or the other. So just kind
It's
of
the
curious.
it's the latter for sure.
Yeah,
It's not
awesome.
it's yeah, it's always someone else's fault if I'm doing a good job.
You're so
Uh
funny. Yeah. I like your
yeah,
marketing guy though, or at least that, or your man, like MTS. Michael's been
yeah,
great.
oh, Michael's amazing. He's the best. I mean, you're not really gonna find we work in an industry that it's like it's difficult to find people that are always going to do what they say they're gonna do, but he goes above and beyond, so that's always nice.
Yeah, it seems like
Uh
that. And he's got quite a few artists. Like, it's not like he's small potatoes either. I think I've at least talked to 10 different people that are
yeah,
all
yeah, it
folks.
I think his roster just keeps growing too, which is what happens when you do a good job. The word gets out. Like I've had people hit me up on social media about if they're like, "Is he worth it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, dude.
That's
You'd be
awesome
stupid not to do it." Yeah.
for sure. Now, I grew up on country music, and I like country when country was very country. And then I'm lucky because I got to sort of evolve with it. So I like
Yeah.
how it's gone all the way through. But there's two song titles that of yours that I really like, and I also like the music, but it made me feel like that's kind of how country music has gone a bit too, like one of a kind and making things up as I go. It just kind of really spoke to me, like we're just sort of showing up and seeing how the world decides to be right now. Um, how do you feel about this like change in country music, or do you not feel like there has been one?
Oh no, I mean there's been a very I mean I think everything changes. It's just like it's natural.
Yeah.
It's got to happen. Uh but yeah, the new stuff it the things that I loved about the old stuff was what they were talking about usually. Like this sound I'm not going to sit here and complain about like the evolution of sound or production. Like of course it's going to change. There's so much more you can do. Like you don't even
Yeah.
need a band anymore technically when you're in a studio. You can
I
do
know, isn't
everything.
that crazy?
Yeah, it's insane, but uh it, the content is what always means the most to me is like I love a good melody. I love like a good production, like a live sound, but like what are you talking about? If it's not something that I'm gonna resonate with, like it's like everyone, I have a truck, I drive a truck, I like trucks, but I don't want to hear a song about a truck. Like
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
it's some like sentimental, like touchy feely, like this was my dad's, he passed it down to me. What's the story?
yeah.
Like
That's fair.
humanize this object if you want me to empathize with it. Like we all like lose things, get things, people reclaim us. It's like but that's what I liked about the old stuff because I was adopted by my grandparents, so like that was my dad when we would drive around. It was like Hank Senior, Farron Young, Johnny Horton, like George Jones, like all this like 40s and 50s stuff. So I was brainwashed by substance. Like anyone, like
Yeah,
if you listen to the Stones or Zeppelin, like they don't remember what they were writing or singing about, but it was like it really, or Credence is another great example.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was a really cool lo-fi sound, and it was like they were talking about what was going on,
yeah,
like you like the war and everything. It was like there's something there. It's not like there's a girl in jean shorts and she's in a truck and there's a bonfire and hey, have a beer. You
yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like
I like it.
I want something that's more of a storyline. I was like, that's just a Friday or Saturday night in high school or college. Like
Right. Yeah, I love that perspective because I think that's probably, and I think I heard a tinge of it in yours too, but what always struck me was, we grew up where I grew up. I mean, we were very poor. We lived in a car at one point. We have
okay.
all these stories, right? That are
Yeah.
just stories because my life is not like that now. It's amazing. And it wouldn't be amazing if I didn't have everything else that came before now. But
No.
what I always was touched by with any kind of music, I love every music that's out there. The only thing I don't listen to is opera. And if somebody put it on, I probably would, right? I just love the stories. And for me, they took me away from the things that were happening that were real and too
Yeah.
much for like a young kid to maybe process. But I could
Yeah.
listen to a song and be transported, right? I've read a lot of books, be transported away from the
Yeah.
now. Now I'm doing everything I can to be in the now, which is really ironic, but it kind of that switch around. But that's
Yeah.
what I loved about yours. And then you alluded to something. You said you were adopted by your grandparents. I assume that story wasn't a great beginning that ended up having you be adopted by your grandparents. Does some of that come through in your music?
Yeah, yeah, I think I mean you kind of said it without specifically defining it is that it's like a lot of my favorite artists and creators or anyone in general, you can tell when someone has struggled and lived because it comes out. It's very there's a lot of empathy. Like they know what it's like. They've been down. They've been up. They've been all over the place. Like you can identify with people who are all over the place, and you have such a like it opens this perspective too. Like if you uh if you start at the bottom like that, like it's like you're able to connect. It's like it's your humanity. It gives you like it imprints on your soul and you're able to like throw that back out to the world like hey, this stuff exists. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm also going to like put a playful melody behind it, so like we're
Yeah.
actually getting through this together. It's a coping thing.
Yeah, I love
It's
that. I think that's
yeah.
probably true. And one of the things I'm just loving so much right now, and it's so generous, is there's so many artists that are just strumming away on their guitars or singing away on their live streams, and that's like how they earn a living too, right? That it's so they're like giving part of themselves and the way they could have earned a living just to the people right now that are kind of struggling with different things. And of course it would be artists that would do that. It's kind of my response. Of course they would. That's especially, the up and comers. It's sort of what they're made of. What do you think
Yeah,
about this singing in the singing in the shower on live TV kind of thing?
yeah, it well, it takes some getting used to, but like it's almost like just as much for us as it is for everyone else because it's like, well, I mean, I think if you enjoy doing it as much as you should, whatever you're doing, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, do something you enjoy. Uh, like we all have to have jobs, I get it, but like we love doing this, so I think it's just as much for us. Like a lot of us, I mean, I know everyone misses it right now for all like the circumstantial stuff going on in the world, but it I miss doing live shows on a daily basis.
I
Like
bet.
weekends and stuff are weird. Like
Yeah, you're like,
it's
what do I do?
Yeah, the joke with everyone right now is like it's oh man, it doesn't matter. Time is meaningless, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like, but I'm bored. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I love it. It's cool to see how many people are coming out like in support of it and also like wanting to do it. Like
Yeah.
it really makes you. It goes back to that kind of perspective we talked about. Like people might actually appreciate it more for a little bit longer after this.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair. Do you think that do you think any music's gonna just kind of come out of this period of isolation that a lot of people have been put into?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of if not like music at first, like definitely some good self-reflection that could turn into music. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's a gift and a curse because for as much good music that we have come out of this, there's going to be a lot of people who lost their minds and created some like really, really intense,
Demented.
weird thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
I might have a friend that did that, but don't tell anybody. No.
yeah, it's a double. It's not you, is it? Did you do it? Was
No,
it?
no.
Oh,
I
okay,
I
okay.
can't sing my way out of a paper bag. It's it's just not gonna.
Okay. Well, sometimes people's like, I got this friend, and
No, oh yeah, I got you. No, my kids even age out of my voice, so there's that. The little ones still think I'm okay, but the older ones are like, "Mom, for real."
oh man, my dad has a voice like that. I always used to joke. I was like, it's like he sings through his ears. I've never heard anyone do it before. I don't know how he
Yeah,
does it.
it's just like, no, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's
No.
funny. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So no, I don't have a friend named Jackie that's doing some singing on the side.
Okay,
What's
sweet.
one of my well, was one of my younger mentees, probably a young guy that he lived with us for a while when he was a kiddo, and he's decided he's going to be a rap artist. So he sends me his rap stuff. I'm like,
Uh,
you're
that's
so
so
cool,
good.
man.
At the beginning of this, my buddy sent me a phony rap verse, and I made a beat around it. It
Yeah.
was like when I was like, dude, I'm gonna produce this if that's cool, and he was like, dude, that would be so funny. I was like, it happens, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what have you obviously you must have put some stuff out lately or within the last year or so. What's the newest stuff you just put out to the world?
I had a record drop in 2017, and I've been promoting that. But recently, I put out that the One of a Kind song is
Yeah.
newer.
I
And
really like that one. I know it's on your main page of your website, so we'll make sure everybody has access to, although it's pretty easy to get to jeremyparsonsmusic.com,
yeah,
um I really do like that sound. It's super fun.
thank you. Yeah, I did that. I did that in my bedroom when this all kicked off. Is I wrote it for John Prine, who passed away. He was one of my favorites. Talk about lyrics and like just talking about heavy things, and so he had this like rare gift of presenting a heavy truth about the world in such a hilarious man. Like it was dark humor, and it was so twisted. I loved him. I never missed a show when I lived in Nashville. We went and saw him like probably like 5 or 6 times. I loved him so much. But so I wrote that for him because he was always just like a smile waiting to happen. That dude was
Oh,
great.
that is the
Um,
best quote ever. A smile waiting to happen. You just
oh
you
yeah, I
just
guess
drop like the best quotes. You have to go back and listen to yourself. You're pretty profound. Like it just
I'm not going to go back and listen to myself.
like
We're gonna
no,
just.
thanks.
I appreciate that very much. I'm bad at taking compliments, but I will. I just zone out and say words. That's how
I
the
like
songs
it.
happen.
We
But
have
yeah,
this thing at our house where the kids will start talking and my husband will go, "Words? Like what you saying words?"
words,
Yeah.
words. Yeah, for real. That
Sorry
whenever
about
I
that.
can't, whenever I have like a traffic jam of like all the things that I'm thinking can't make it out of my mouth at the same time, I'll
Yeah.
just be like words and then walk out of the room.
There you go.
Uh,
That's it.
uh, but yeah, I put that out, and I have a whole new record. That song was done separately because I didn't want John Prine to die, and I didn't know it was gonna happen. So
Yeah.
uh, that was just a spur of the moment single release thing. But I have a whole new 10-track record that I've worked on and finished up, and I'm about to start. I'm working on the art right now. My buddy PJ Schenkel for Three Hat Media, dude who does all my music videos slash best friend. Uh,
Nice.
he's working on single and album art right now. So once I get all that lined up, we have the concept all done. I'm just giving him time to work on it, and then I'm gonna start dropping singles from the new record.
Nice.
Probably
Nice.
within the next month or two.
I love it.
I'm
People,
hoping to.
good timing. A lot of people like just out there grabbing, trying to get something meaningful to all this stuff going on. And
Yeah.
if you think about it and you got a moment, send us the links to your graphics guy and your video guy. We're happy to co-promote, put him on the show notes as well. So if
Oh yeah,
folks
deal.
want to look him up, that'd be cool.
I will absolutely do that.
Nice. Yeah, I like so I figured you must have a pretty good graphics dude because even on your website, like your video page, you got a cool rocket sort of graphic and animation going out, and you guys have won some awards too for some of your music videos, I believe. Uh
Yeah, we've been like nominated and won, so which is cool because that's one thing. Going back to Michael, like you don't think about like all the outlets that you could use for like promotion, or like you make a like PJ spends a lot of time working on that stuff. You want to make sure that it gets like some light shines on it, so
yeah.
it's like he Michael's good at finding those avenues, like those film festivals. It's genius. Like it
Yeah,
gets.
he's I connected him in a weird way. I ended up knowing someone who started a Roku channel. And so he ended up, now he's got like that thing, and a lot of you guys are doing some stuff over there too.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I'm like, look at this guy. He's really doing what he can do to get everybody really out there. So I bet
Yeah.
he is not bored right now during all of this.
Oh man, no, he's got like two kids too, I think. So like
Oh,
he's
doing it.
definitely not bored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got four. I'm not bored either.
Oh wow.
I am
Man,
not bored.
I yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. I mentally, I guess I'm just not ready to be a parent. Like I love the thought of it, but like being trapped in a house with one kid right now seems like it would probably mentally do me in. I'd probably be fine. That's just me.
I was 28 before I had my first one, and I wasn't ready yet. So it's
Okay,
all
so
right. You're
yeah.
never ready. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
If
Yeah,
people
that's
ask us how we're doing, my responses are, no one has died. No one has died. Oh, and no one's died. So we're good. Like,
those are
okay.
three
Yeah.
in that order. Those are
Yeah.
three very important, yeah.
The
Yeah.
key areas. Yeah. So it sounds like, which is really neat. I love this idea of that your kind of right hand person does a lot of the video and does a lot of the art and cover art. um do you produce all your own sound, or do you have like people that do the back end for you? How does that work in your world?
I like to use I pretty much built in I lived in Nashville for 10 years, and I built I had just like a whole family up there of like talented people that I became friends with. PJ was like one of the first ones. We've been friends for like nine or so years now. And then I met my producer, and his whole family is like these overly talented just robots as far as music goes. Like his son, the Flanders is the name of the family. Michael Flanders is my producer, and they're all from Australia. But the whole family pretty much helps me with my record. Like I'll go over to their house. They have a studio downstairs. It's like on the lake, and Michael does like all he does the steel guitar, dobro, lead guitar stuff. Like he's
Oh,
he's just
cool.
a string genius, and his son is a phenomenal bassist, and they pretty much produce it, and I bring the songs in like pretty much fully patterned out and everything. We just knock it out, and then we'll hire like drummers and stuff to come in and or send us like a track, because these days you can just send them the track and they have their own
They'll
home
add
studio.
on, yeah.
Yeah, they can just knock it out at their place.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
cool.
So is it like layer, like now you can kind of layer music together, right? So you have like what you were singing and then bringing in the Michael and his family and then bringing in the drum track and sort of just layer it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, so
That's
it
cool.
all ends up stacking cool, and it always ends up like sounding like fairly live. Like that's what I like about working with him. Everything about, we did the record, the 2017 record together called Things I Need to Say, and that was my favorite record until we made this new one.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I can't wait
and
to hear
it
about the new one when it comes out. You have to let us
y-
know.
oh, absolutely, yeah. It's just cool because working with the same people, like we worked with the same mix engineer, worked with the, like, everyone's the same, like the but we all got better, like we all
Yeah.
just got tighter and stronger. So this record, just like we love the way the last record sounded, but it's cool to see the how far we've come, like the evolution of, like, and that was like 3 years, been
Yeah.
like 2 years to the day we started working on it, probably. But
That's awesome. That's
it's
awesome.
cool.
It sounds cool. It sounds really cool. So, where can people find everything about Jeremy so that if they would like what you're throwing down, they can listen to it too?
JeremyParsonsMusic.com is probably the best place, and that'll take you. I think my entrance page to my website has a link to my Spotify, and
Yeah, you got all kinds of great stuff. You've got some different shows and when you're going to be at stuff, depending on the world. But a lot of
yeah,
December stuff coming and all kinds of great stuff there on the website.
yeah, a lot of fun videos, and I'm pretty sure that's probably the best place to land. It'll take you to my Instagram and Facebook, and all that stuff is pretty much just Jeremy Parsons or Jeremy Parsons Music.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to leave us with before we go today?
Man, I just stay safe, sane, and healthy. I guess it's crazy right now, so it's uh keep listening to music and staying hopeful.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. It was nice to meet you and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.